Welcome back to 60 Men Who Changed History. Salmaan Al Farisy, Part 4. The Seeker After Truth. Salman's House. When we say his house, let us remember what kind of house it was. When Salman thought of building it, he asked the mason, "How are you going to build it?" The mason was courteous and yet witty. He knew the piety and devotion of Salman, so he replied to him, saying, "Fear not. It is a house for you to protect yourself against the heat of the sun and dwell in the cold weather. When you stand erect in it, it touches your head," Salman said to him. "Yes, that is it, so go on and build it." The Persian Child Luxury. Why do you think he was doing all this work and worshipping with this devotion, and yet he was a Persian child of luxury? You can hear the reply from him. While he was on his deathbed, Saad bin Abi Waqqas went to greet him, and Salman wept. Saud said, "What makes you weep, O Abu Abd Allah? The Prophet of Allah died pleased with you." Salman replied, "By Allah, I am not weeping in fear of death, nor for love of this world. But the Prophet of Allah put me on an oath. He said, 'Have from this world what is like the provision of the traveller, and here I have owned many things around me.'" Saad said, "I looked around and I saw nothing but a water pot and vessel to eat in." A parting word of advice. Then I said to him, "O Abu Abd Allah, give us a parting word of advice for us to follow." He said, "O Saad, remember Allah for your cares, if you have any. Remember Allah in your judgment, if you judge. Remember Allah when you distribute the share." This was the man who filled his spirit with riches, just as it filled him with renunciation of the pleasures of this world, its riches and pride. The oath which he and the rest of the companions had taken before the Prophet of Allah was that they must not let the world possess them, and that they should take nothing from it but the provision of the traveller in his bag. Tears of a pious soul. Salman had kept the oath, yet still his tears ran when he saw his soul preparing for departure, fearing that he had gone beyond the limits. There was nothing around him except a vessel to eat in and a water pot, and yet still he considered himself lavish. Did we not say that he was the nearest in resemblance to Umar, the trust of Musk? There was nothing of the goods of this world which could attract Salman for a moment, nor did they leave any traces in his heart, except one thing, which he was particularly mindful of, and had entrusted to his wife, requesting her to keep it far away in a safe place. In his last sickness, and in the morning on which he gave up his soul, he called her, "Bring me the trust, which I left in safe keeping." She brought it, and behold, it was a bottle of musk. He had gained it on the day of liberating the city of Jalwalaya, and kept it to be his perfume on the day of his death. The final preparation. Then he called for a pot of water, sprinkled the musk into it, stirred it with his hand, and then said to his wife, "Sprinkle it on me, for there will now come to me creatures from the creatures of Allah. They do not eat food, and what they like is perfume." Having done so, he said to her, "Shut the door and go down." She did what he asked her to do. After a while she went up to him and saw his blessed soul had departed his body, his frame. It was gone to the Supreme Master, and it ascended with the desire to meet him, as he had an appointment there with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his two companions, Abu Bakr and Umar, and the noble circle of martyrs. A restful end. Long had the burning desire stirred Salman, but time had come for him to rest in peace. Farewell from Tawheed Foundation to Salman. O Salman, you were brought up in luxury, the son of an estate owner. You were guaranteed to inherit wealth and social position. Yet you so happily gave all of this to go and live with a bishop so you can learn his religion. You were willing to serve and work, although you were accustomed to being served. Then you moved from one teacher to another seeking the truth and wanting to learn. Your determination is limitless. 4 people died, but you never said, "I tried and it did not work out." You were never prepared to give up and go back to your estate where others will serve. Instead, you always asked, "Who shall I go to learn?" You were betrayed and sold as a slave. You were a very strong, tall man. You could have escaped, but you did not. All the time you had only one goal: to reach Medina and meet the Prophet, and you were willing to pay the price to achieve your goal. What drove you to make your religion the most important thing in your life? Your legacy is a beacon of hope and inspiration, a reminder that with faith and determination we can overcome any obstacle in our quest for truth and knowledge. Farewell, dear Salman. Your story will forever inspire those who seek the truth with all their heart, who value faith above all worldly possessions. You have shown us the true meaning of dedication and sacrifice. Your journey has ended, but your legacy lives on, guiding us toward the light of knowledge and faith. And now we say, Assalamu alaikum ya Salmaan, and until we meet in heaven, know that our hearts will always be filled with love and respect for you. If you have found this content useful, then please like, share with others, and subscribe.